Welcome, Douglas.
Je ne parle beaucoup français. Parlez-vous anglais? Okay, merci beaucoup. That's all the French I can manage. I'm very sorry. I have a consultant here. He's going to tell me when I talk too fast, okay? Good. All right. Excellent. That's very helpful. Okay, and I hope you all had coffee because I need your help. What happened in space yesterday? Who knows? Shout it out. Something big happened in space. Hundreds of miles. No, not Boeing. What happened in space yesterday? No one knows? SpaceX, that's right. So SpaceX, turn this so you can see it. SpaceX launched a rocket. What happened to the rocket? It came back. What happened to all the other rockets? They blew up, boom, right? And I bet that sounds like some of your software projects, and that's what I want to talk about. So when SpaceX launched their first Starship, it got this far, and then it blew up. The second one got this far, and then it blew up. The third one went this far, and the other part went this far, and then they both blew up. And the last ones, they got here, and they both fell in the ocean, and then they blew up. Okay? Now, Elon Musk, I hope he goes to Mars and stays there, but yesterday he announced that it was a great success. This was wonderful to have blown up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different rockets. And this was a super success. That seemed confusing to anyone? Why would that be a success? Someone said Boeing. What happened to Boeing? Shout it. They did launch after canceling 1, 2, 3, 4 different times, right? How about China? What happened to China? They got a rocket to the moon, right? What happened to that rocket? Does anyone know? Well, there was one that crashed, but the one that just went, it went okay. It's bringing back samples. But guess what? They wanted to leave something on the moon. They blew that up. And Japan, they also sent something to the moon. Anyone know what happened to Japan? Anyone know? No one. Anyone? Japan, they launched a rocket, and it was to come down like this. It landed like this, on its side. Now, all of these are great successes. So when we build software, we have these results. And the thing I want to argue to you today is that you should see all of these just like rockets that blow up. And I'm going to explain why that's a useful way to think about it. And I hope you will all go back and blow up your rockets. Okay? Everybody ready to do that? Okay. The fancy name for this now, I need my other French consultant to help me. How do I say volatility in French? Volatility. Excellent. Good. This is simple. I can speak French. Volatility is the key thing that you get benefit from. Many people think volatility is dangerous. We are in space. We want things to be controlled. We don't want things to be surprising. Elon Musk says, no, I want to blow up my rockets. I have something I've written about volatility, which is free for you, so I'm going to tell you how to get that at the end. I don't want to forget that. But first I have to tell you how to speak Welsh. Now, I am not very good at French. I am also even worse at Welsh. I only know one word. Does anyone know, some of you may not know, where is Wales? Next to England. Perfect. All right. It is kind of like Wallonia is next to Flanders. I had to look that up. I'm sorry, I don't know. So if you don't know where Wales is, don't worry, because most people in Wales kind of sound English. They sound a little bit different. But they have their own language, just like you have Flemish, right? Flemish is a different language. I hope I am right? Okay, good. I'm not always good at these things. This is the Welsh language. And this guy, Dave Snowden, likes to name things in Welsh and come up with wonderful ideas. If you have wonderful ideas, please do not name them in Welsh, because it is hard to pronounce. But I will teach you to pronounce this word. There is an English name. I want you all to say it. The name is Kevin. 1, 2, 3. Kevin. Perfect. And there is a French word, and I think it is N-E-S. It is ne. Yes, this is the French word, right? Maybe? No? I have heard it. Je ne parle beaucoup. No, okay, I do not know my French. I am sorry. But I want you to say that word. Okay, 1, 2, 3. No. Okay, now put the Kevin and the ne together. Ke-ne-ven. 1, 2, 3. Okay, close enough. Now you speak Welsh. Now, the important thing about this is that Snowden has given us a way to understand volatility and uncertainty. And when we understand these, we can blow up rockets and software projects even better. So let me explain in terms of games, because my theme today is games. So we have a game in English, in England, and I'm sure you play it. And it looks like this. And I put an X, and an O, and an X, and then an O, and then I win. How do you call this in French? Oxo. Oh, that is such a nice name. In English, we say noughts and crosses. It's much harder. So, oxo, like that? Okay, very simple. Okay. So, that is a simple game. Anyone can play this game. And how many adults play this game? Do you play this game? Oh, some people play this game. Okay, good, but not many. Why is that? Why do you not play this game? Always a draw. It's simple. Anyone can master this game, and most of you have. I actually know someone who wins this game 70% of the time because he fools people. He's very clever. But most of us do not play this game because it is simple. Now, here is a game, chess, that most of us probably play, and it is entertaining, it is interesting. It is also often a draw, but in chess, we have a complicated situation where someone who is very good at this game can beat other people, right? It is not simply that anyone can learn it. And there's a big tournament happening in Norway where the various people are about to beat each other. They would all destroy all of us in this room, okay? So complicated is the world of experts. Here, everyone can do it. Here, there are some experts who know how to do it. Make sense? Okay? Does anyone know what's happened to chess in the last 20 years? We have new experts. Who are they? AI. We have computers, and they would beat the world champion 100 out of 100 times. Now, that's an important point. I'm going to come back to that. Complicated has a tendency to become simple with computers. All right, complex is the most interesting. This is where most of us live. And the complex world is Minecraft, or Settlers of Catan. You can see why I write these before. So have you played these kinds of games where you must explore? People know about this? Now, there's a big difference from chess. What's the difference? Unknown. There's lots of things here that no player knows, right? In chess, everyone sees everything on the board. In poker, not so much, right? So poker would be somewhere between. Minecraft, the world is bigger than the solar system, right? Anyone could go anywhere. In Minecraft, you can explore the whole world and go anywhere you want. And this is true of other things like Baldur's Gate. What are some other ones? What are some other games that are like this? Open world games. Okay, good. We had some good examples there. I didn't hear them, but life. Okay. Excellent. This real world life that we all live in. Okay. The point of the complex domain is that no one knows what the rules are. No one knows how to win. How do you win Minecraft? Who has kids? Do they know? How? The dragon. Okay. The dragon is something at the end of Minecraft. Does everyone beat the dragon? Does everyone play the game that way? Many, many people play to do many other things, to explore the world, to build versions of castles, to build lots of things. They play it how they want to, and the rules are unclear. How you win is not known. And chaos is the world where there are no rules. There is no control. In these games, you can discover things about the world. You can find something new and explore it. In chaos, that would be roulette, right? I put my ball down, I put my chip down, the ball goes around, I do not know where it will go, right? I cannot control it. There is nothing I can do. The only thing I can do is try to get to one of the others. Okay, now I've taught you some language. What's this language got to do with? Well, the point is that in software, we always live here. But we want to fool ourselves into believing we live here. So tell me some software. What's some software that's really simple? What's software that anyone could use and make? Say again? Hello World. Not anyone can do that. My mother could not make that. My mother-in-law could not do that. But there are things that my mother-in-law could do. What could she do? What's a piece of software my mother-in-law could make? Say again? Calculator. No, that would be too complicated. She would have to write code. You're thinking about code. What's not code? Well, you could follow a recipe, but even simpler. What's something everyone uses? Say again? The lights are okay. Now we're going too simple, because that's not software. How about Excel? Do lots of people use Excel? How about Airtable? How about low-code solutions? Anybody using low-code things? Have you seen those low-code software? Not very many. That's very interesting. Okay, but I bet lots of people in your customers, in your clients, in your software teams, in your the people you work with, are they using Excel? How many people are using Excel? Okay, lots of people. That's software, that's programming. But it's been made very, very simple so anyone can do it. Another example is websites. I can go to Wix or Squarespace or something, and I can make a website, even if I have no idea how to write code, right? Those are simple. How many of you have customers who think that building the software you are building is like making a website, is like using Excel? And they come to you and they say, oh, it's easy. I can do it. Look, I did it. Look, just do it like this. It will be done on Monday, right? That's because people want to believe that it's simple. Now, they come to you. You're the experts. That's the complicated domain. So there are many things that are complicated, and you know how to make it, and you know how to estimate it. This is the one you go to the stand-up, you go to the estimation session, and you say, I know. It will take 3 days. The last 20 I did, they took 3 days. So this will take 3 days. Right? What's some software like that? Now it's the ones you were saying, like calculator, right? Everybody could estimate a calculator, right? What's another kind? Is anybody working on something that is complicated? Tell me one. Pac-Man. Okay. Are you actually working on that? Okay. But where's something that you're working on that is complicated, that you understand well? CRM workflow. Excellent. Okay, very good. Now look how long that took all of you to come back with. That's really telling, because software lives here, but people want it to live over here. But CRM workflow, I bet I could find 100 different tools that people have worked on. It's very well understood. Your team has probably done it many times. We want to add step 12. We added steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know how to add step 12, right? That's complicated. We can go to an expert. But in the complex domain, we have no idea, and that's where all of you live. Now, the problem with the complex domain is everyone has forgotten how to explore. Now, I tried something really hard, and I apologize, I failed in my history search. Who is a Belgian explorer? Like Salle or Cartier. Those are French, I know there's a difference. Don't worry, I know. But I couldn't find any Belgian explorers who had gone off into the jungle, onto the sea, and they had found things. Are there some? Yes, Mercator. A Mercator? Ah, I did not know. Great. Okay. He gave us the flat map. It doesn't work so well, but that's okay. He gave us the map, or it's named after him anyway. So Mercator, I am sure, when he went off to explore, did not know where he was going. Did he have an estimation? Did he have a scrum session? Did he have a stand-up? Did he have a Gantt chart? Did he say, yes, I know it will take me 7 days to go 20 miles through the jungle? I hope he did not, because if he did, he was stupid. And I do not think Belgian explorers were stupid. In the complex domain, you need to probe, sense, and respond. That is a loop. And you try an experiment, you try something because you do not know where you are going. And Mercator, I'm sure, when he went to the jungle and he's trying to follow a river, and the river forks, he doesn't say, I know which way to go. I know the answer. I'm in the complicated domain. He says, I'm in the complex domain. Let's go both ways. And when he goes both ways, he finds out whether this way, and one group goes this way, and one group goes that way, which one is the right way, which takes him to his goal. Now, how many of you are doing that? How often are you experimenting and blowing up your spaceship? That's my question for you today. So, I want to mention something else, and I wonder whether anyone knows this one. Does anyone know what OODA stands for? OODA, familiar? O-O-D-A? No one. Okay, you all have homework. I used to be a teacher. You all have homework. Look this up. It was developed when they were making fighter planes in the Korean War. And now someone may know this. How do you build a good fighter plane that will beat other fighter planes? What's the one most important thing about a fighter plane? Higher and faster. No. Those are very helpful, but a better engine does not win you a dogfight. Other guesses? Pilots. You need good pilots, but they need to be equipped with something. There's something that makes a huge, huge difference for them. And it's related to probe, sense, respond. That's my hint. One more guess? Go. A parachute. That would be very helpful if you want to get out of your plane. That would be chaos, right? Your dogfight is not going the way you want it to. But here is the point. The most important thing is that you get around the OODA loop, I'll explain that in a second, as fast as possible, so you need lots of glass. So if you get into a modern fighter plane, and they discovered this in the 1960s, it is surrounded, the canopy, the place the pilot sits, is surrounded with glass or plastic or something. You can see through it. And that's because you need more information. You need to do more experiments and to try things and observe, orient, decide, and only then act. So you are looking for multiple pieces of information from your environment, and the reason the Americans beat the Russians in the Korean War, the Russian planes, is the Russian planes had a small canopy. They could not see where the other planes were. The Americans could look around and say, there's a plane down there. My plan to go over there is a bad idea. He's going to shoot me. I need to go somewhere else. And because they could adjust their plan more quickly, they were able to win more dogfights. Now I'm going to demonstrate this to you, and I'm going to demonstrate it by playing a game. Now you guys who sat in the front, you're in danger. It's always dangerous to sit in the front with me, because we're going to play a guessing game. And it's a very simple game of guessing a number, and I'm going to ask you to guess a number, where did my pen go? From 100 to 999. I have picked one, and I will not tell you. We are going to try it 4 ways. We are going to say which ones work better. And guess what? Scrum is not going to win. Okay? So, and I'm going to ask you, this is the hard part, to guess the number in English, please, because my French is not good enough to go to 9. I can get to trois, but I'm in trouble after that. So, this group over here, you're going to guess my number. And I'm going to stand over here, and I want you to shout a guess one at a time. What is the number between 100 and 999? Go, you first. What is your number? 200. No. 326. No. 124. No. 137. Now, Eric is getting nervous here because we only have until 20 past 10. So this one is going to take me an infinite amount of time, right? Waterfall is never going to finish because I am far from my customer. They are not getting feedback from me. We are not doing any of the probing, sensing, and responding at all. None of that is happening. Okay? So, thank you for being my waterfall group. That didn't work. All right. But we all know that. This is an Agile conference. So we know that that's not going to work. So, you are my Scrum group. Okay? I'm going to be close to you. I'm going to participate. I'm going to give you feedback. Okay? So, what's your guess? Is it 100 to 999? Give me a guess. I have 500. Lower. 400. Lower. 300. Higher. 350. Lower. He has a smart, their binary search here. Good. 320. Lower. 310. Higher. 315. Lower. That is exactly right. Give him a round of applause. Now I timed that here. Let's see if I can get it to come through. So that was just about 1 minute. Okay? So that was pretty good. Well done, Scrum. Okay? That sounds like a lot of your software projects, right? You've got a customer, they give you feedback and they say lower, higher, lower, higher. They give you some information. But you can do better. And this is the new information. So now we're going to try experiments. Okay? So what we're going to do is I have a new number now. And I want you, this group here, I want you to guess this number, but 1 digit at a time. So guess the first digit. No. 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 It's a digit. We're guessing a digit. Oh, boy. We're repeating. Go ahead. Okay. There. We got it. Okay, good. So we got 1 digit. Excellent. We'll write that down. Okay. Next digit. No. Good. We got that one. A little quicker that time. And next one. No. 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 Yeah. There we go. Now, I timed that one, and we came up at about 45 seconds. Okay? So experiments are faster, and you guys, you guessed not so smart. Like 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. That's okay. But the point is that you could get to my number quicker. And especially if we want to do 4, 5, 6 digits, if we want to do something very complicated, you can imagine that method is going to work a lot faster because we're doing experiments, right? Now, somebody said 3 twice. I forget who it was, and I gave you a hard time. But it was okay that you did that experiment. Right? It was okay that you tried it. Why was that? Why did it not matter that they guessed the same number twice? It's complex, and they don't know, but they could have known, right? So it could be they heard 3 over here, and then you say 3 again. But the point is it was fast, right? 4, 3, 2, 1, 9, 4. And it's okay that you get the answer if it's fast. So if your experiment is fast, and you can move through your experiment quickly and get the answer, it doesn't matter if you get it wrong. And that's the point coming back to Elon Musk blowing up rockets. For him, an experiment is cheap. Hey, I can blow up as many rockets as you need if I can get to Mars quicker. Right? So the point of experiments is that you can do them very, very quickly, but we can do better. So here, what we're going to do, I didn't want to give it away, is we're going to do parallel. Okay, so this group over here, you get to do the hardest one. Okay, no, it's easy for you. You get to do the best one, guess the best results. I want all of you to think of a number. If you are my notes, 3-digit number. You are guessing the first number. And when you are ready, put your hands up, okay? And then we're going to do the second and then the third. So you guess one number at a time, but put your hands. So 7, 2, 3, okay? Ready? Go. Yes. So we got 5. Okay, next number. Go. 8. Yes. Okay, and next number. There, 8. So we have 5, 8, 8. That took about 10 seconds. Now, why did that take 10 seconds? The hint is on the board. Why? We're multitasking. We're parallel. We're running the experiments in parallel, right? So Elon Musk does not have this choice. Musk cannot decide to do this because he can only launch 1 rocket at a time. But what if he could launch 10 rockets? Now, some of you had wrong guesses. So you right here, you had a guess. Like, what was your guess? 9. None of my digits were 9. Is it bad that she had a guess of 9? Would we want to go to you and, I'm sorry, I'm going to pick on you. You did a bad job. You picked 9. That was a bad choice. You don't get a bonus, right? You are not, you had a failed experiment. This was bad. Am I doing a good thing? No, this is terrible. We want to encourage her to try. And it is okay that there was only a 10% chance that you could be right? We tried an experiment, and the experiment had a very high chance of being wrong. Just like Elon Musk was pretty sure that first rocket wasn't going to make it to orbit. But it was good he tried that because he learned quickly. He got around his OODA loop fast so he could do the next one. Now, how many of your organizations are thinking like this? I bet almost none, right? They are thinking about Scrum. And they're very happy when you come back and say, I've given you an estimate, and I was right, and it came out right, and I tried something and I got a good result. Then they say, yes, you get a bonus. Oh, you are doing wonderful. How many of them go to someone and say, you guessed 9 and it was wrong, and it was 90% likely to be wrong, and we are happy, here is a big bonus. You are successful, you are great. Does anyone do that? No one does that. That is a problem. And I'm here to tell you that you can do something about that. Here is what you can do about it. If we are going to play this game in which there is a reward for discovering something new like Mercator, going out and discovering something in the jungle, discovering how rockets work like Elon Musk, we need to score it differently. The scoring is not, I finished my sprint, I got it done in the time I said. The scoring is not, I released the feature and all the customers loved it. That is not how you win this game. Now, I have a name for these things. Some people call them leading indicators. I call them imperfect indicators. That's why it says Eckerel here. This is my word. And I call it imperfect indicators because I want you to find things that will tell you wrong information, but wrong information in the right direction. So think about the rockets again. Musk launches his rocket, and it goes not to space, but he gets it partway to space, and he learns something about how it works. That's an imperfect indicator. It's not in space. They are learning now about how to get those rockets to the moon, but they are not on the moon. They are doing an imperfect experiment that gives them a very useful result. And so what I want you to do first is go and find imperfect indicators. Now, there are lots and lots of these. It can be something like, users clicked my button, but no one bought anything. They can be something like, users told me they liked the feature, but it was missing a lot of the components. It could be that my imperfect indicator is, I completed the task, and I did not get any of the features I wanted, but I learned that all these libraries suck, and no one should use them. Those are great imperfect indicators. Some of you have had that, right? You tried something, you spiked it. These are terms we use in agile development, but we don't use them very well, and we don't think about them in terms of Kinevan. We don't think, we're in the complex environment, we need to experiment, we need to learn quickly. And if you change the scoring so that, again, my friend over here gets a bonus for having tried something with low probability, but great success, right? If it succeeds, it'll be great. We'll move far ahead, 1/3 of the way to the number we are guessing, right? Here's another one. This is due to a guy called Alistair Coburn, a very clever agilist. It's called Elephant Carpaccio, and I don't have time to do it justice, but that's okay because I have a video about it, and you can find that video either by looking up what I'm going to show you at the end, or look at the information for this talk on your mobile, and there's a link to a video about it en français. Not because I learned French, but because I have a client who does AI dubbing, and they can convert talking into French. But here is the brief version. I have my huge project. It is a giant elephant. Imagine an elephant here on the stage. The stage would fall down. And I take this elephant, and what I do not do is I do not slice it horizontally. Because if I made all my pieces of my elephant horizontal, I would have the 4 feet, and then I would have the body, and then I would have the top. Nothing would look like an elephant. But if I slice my elephant this way, then I can see that every element, every slice, looks like an elephant. It is the silhouette of an elephant, right? That's a nice French word, silhouette. Okay, silhouette of an elephant this way, and I make them very thin, like the food carpaccio, right? Meat sliced very thin. And it turns out that your software developers know how to do this, and all the software developers in the room, you know how. All the software developers know how to release 1 slice every day. Now think about that for a second. What if you had new software every day? That would be a lot of experiments, right? That would be something that you could try on your users, and you could learn from them every day. Some of the engineers might be saying, I really couldn't release my software every day. You come talk to me, I'll tell you how you could. If you think you can't because of regulations, I will tell you that my biotech clients, these are people who are making medical devices. They cause you to cut off parts of your body if you get a bad test that tells you have a gene. Those people release every 2 weeks. So if you think you can't release your CRM software every day, I'm telling you you're wrong. Now, I don't have time to go into that, but imagine that that was the score. So the score is, how many experiments did I do today? Because we're going to release every single day, and we want a bunch of experiments, just like our parallel test over here. Now, the last one is our friend Snowden again, our Welsh friend. Thankfully, he did not name this in Welsh, so I'm very glad this was not Welsh. Safe to fail probes. And that's what we were doing over here. You all had probes. You all tried numbers, right? You held up your fingers and you gave me different guesses. And thankfully, nothing bad happened. I made a joke and I said, you didn't get a bonus because you guessed 9. That was the wrong answer. We don't want that. We want it to be very safe for you to try something and for it to fail. And if you could make the number of safe to fail probes that you try the metric for your team, then failure would be a success. And I actually have a blog post about that. Again, I'll give you all the links to all these things at the end. Now, I just want to prove to you that this can be done. First of all, Elon Musk, right? So SpaceX is blowing up rockets by doing all of these kinds of things. Their imperfect indicator is, did the rocket get this far? Not, did it get to space? They are doing small pieces. They are doing lots of wind tunnel tests and things, and it is safe for them to fail. Musk announces it. He says, I think it will blow up, but I think we will learn this, this, and this. So that's one example. But I will tell you another, 2. These are clients of mine. Exclaimer does something very boring. They make your email signatures compliant, but it's very lucrative. It's very good business. Perlego gets textbooks for students. And they have to match up professors and students and make sure the students get the right thing. Each of these are doing many experiments every week. Perlego does 8 to 10 new experiments in production every week. Exclaimer doubled the number of releases that they were doing as a result of working in this way. And that's the reward, because you have to change the reward. Perlego had a 72-page strategy document. We threw it away. Now it is 1 page. It says we are going to try this, this, and this, and the results that we will reward people for are having many safe-to-fail probes, doing many experiments that give us the imperfect indicators. Make sense? Okay. So I feel like I haven't done enough here, and I'm sorry that I haven't. I only have so much time, and you have to go listen to more magicians and do sketch notes and all kinds of other very exciting things. So I want to leave you with many other things so that you can go and check out these crazy ideas. I think many of you think I am nuts, and that's okay, because you can check these out. There are free books over there. That book is a little bit old. It doesn't have all these things, but if you can get there first, you can get a book. And if you want a book, write, and you can't get one here, write to me, and I'm happy to send you one. I'm not trying to sell you books, but this is a book about having conversations about these topics, and many of these ideas are at least implicit there. I also have mentioned before I have a 1-page document on volatility, so if you want that, tell me. And my video on elephant carpaccio in French, you can find it on the Journée agile website, or you can write to me there, ds@douglassquirrel.com. And the last place is I have a forum and events and free stuff. All these things are free. I do this stuff to give back. I got paid for this, but I do these things because I want people to do more experiments. I think it's heartbreaking that not enough of us are operating in the complex domain when we fool ourselves into thinking we're in the complicated domain. So I have a forum and events and other things in a community called squirrelsquadron.com with 2,500 people around the world talking about how to do this. And if you go there, you can sign up. Now, I have made sure to leave time for questions. I'm sure many of you are saying, Squirrel is telling us something I could never do. And I'd love for you to ask me some questions about how you could do this. So with that, I will conclude. Thank you, and I would love some questions. I think there's a microphone that could come around. Question here.
Hi, thanks, really thanks for the inspiring talk. Just one point maybe that I would like you to discuss, and I think it's for possibly the next century of the industry.
Yes.
I think that the main difference between the first methods, let's say waterfall maybe, and the experiments that you show, is that the energy that is spent in the system, if you take SpaceX, it takes a lot of energy and resources to actually blow up so many rockets.
Yeah, you have to be Elon
how
Musk.
can we? Yeah.
Yes.
How can we, given the climate change and all the energy stuff that we have now, how can we, as an industry, do this without spending so much energy and
Make everyone small. And here's the secret. So you guys, you had more energy because you had to think of what number to hold up. But the actual giving, that in terms of climate change, in terms of resources, in terms of computers, you didn't have to fire up OpenAI, right, and run a trillion parameter system to figure out, I think I will try 6, right? And holding up 6, that was pretty cheap. So the trick to things like elephant carpaccio is to make sure it's so thin. Carpaccio, you won't know what that is, right? It's meat. You hold it up, you can see through it. That's how thin it is. So for example, your experiment might be, I'm going to put a button here, and when people click the button, what do you think happens? Nothing. They click the button, and then nothing happens. I had a client do this. They sent a text message. When you clicked the link in the text message, you got 404, right? Nothing happened. But they checked how many people clicked, and then they made it safe to fail because the people who clicked, they were all going to get a phone call the next day anyway. So they made sure that those folks understood, it wasn't working yesterday. It wasn't ever working, but it also wasn't working yesterday, so it was true. But they were able to get the information about who wants to click that. 70% of people clicked it. Guess what? They built what went behind the link, but they started with a 404. So you can make it very, very cheap and have the learning very quickly. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Fantastic.
Except maybe that is iterating so fast, not energy consumption too.
It takes mental energy,
yeah,
and that is very hard.
Mental energy plus, I don't know, but it's, thanks.
My clients don't have that problem, but we can talk more about it. Let's get some other questions. Who else has a question?
So we are working at pension, so it's quite sensitive.
Yes.
If you fail a payment for 2 million persons, you may have troubles. So in this kind
We
of...
do not want any 404s for you.
No.
And that would make people very nervous about their pensions. Yes, do not do that. Good.
In this kind of highly regulated industry, how can you design this kind of experiments?
Yes. So let me tell you about my biotech customers. I also have finance, so that is very similar. But biotech is even bigger, right? The consequence is huge. I said cut off parts of your body because you have a genetic problem. I really mean that. That's what the client I have in mind does. And what they found is their regulator loved having small experiments. And they had always told me, Squirrel, we must it takes 6 months for the regulator to check everything. Compliance has to go and verify, and we have operations. We have all these people. And I went to all those people and I said, would you like something very small? And they said, my God, please give me something small. And the reason they wanted something small is when they got something big, it had everything in it. Because it took 6 months to get it ready. You're nodding. You know what this is like, right? You hack everything in, you get it going, and you put all the pieces in. You do 27 sprints, and then you have the software, and they go, and it takes them 6 months to look. But if you take it to them and you say, look, I have done just this one thing. They say, I only have to test that. I can check this. Regulation 1, yeah, good, go. So your regulators are much happier. Now, you also have to be very safe with your customers, right? So your customers can't get nervous. Often you can use proxies, so you can release to people who are representatives of your customers. Often you can release, but in a safe way, to a small group, to people who know that they are testing. So there are lots of tricks for this. But basically, when you think, boy, I cannot do this, you are almost certainly wrong. And I will tell you, I have a bet on my website, which I will make with all of you. And my bet is that if you come to me like this gentleman and you say, here is something, I cannot make it small enough to deliver in small slices. I will tell you how, or I will buy you a beer. I have had this bet on my website for 4 years. I have never bought a beer. Okay? So if you think that you can't, come and tell me, and I will help you, okay? Fantastic. Next question.
Hello. I was wondering, the experimentation part, I understand, I can put in practice in various ways. How do you sell that to management? How do you get the buy-in?
Yes. Would you like that feature you've been asking me about? Would you like it tomorrow? What would your customer say?
Yes, please.
Of
and
course.
Probably for €0 if possible.
And then you say, now, I am going to score it differently. When I say I'm going to give it to you, I am not going to give the whole thing, but I am going to give you learning so that you can learn whether people actually want the thing you asked for and how they want it. So I will put up, like my example here, the button, and I will find out, do people want it here? No, people cannot find the button. Well, thank heavens, I didn't spend 6 months building the whole feature. No one clicks the button. Now, that is harder for them to understand than you will have everything tomorrow. I understand that. And that is because, I want to go back here. That is because everyone wants to live in complicated. They've hired you, so they know it is not simple, right? But they all want it to be like chess, and all the information is there. We are not exploring the jungle. It is not that we are confused about how the feature works or whether people want it. They all think we live here. And the hard part is convincing them they live here. But the good thing is you have lots of examples of that, because you have lots of things you have built and built and built and built, and you have put them out, and no one clicks them, no one uses them, no one likes them. And you point to those and you say, we are in the jungle, right? We are in Minecraft. We are trying to find our way. And what we can do is we can build you a map, and you will get an update every day. And it's the update every day that really changes them, because they really hate, don't worry, leave me alone, I will be done in 6 months. I will be done, actually it is 1 year, right? They hate that. So when you say you will be in control and you can tell me go here, go there, go the other place, and we will explore together, they like that better. Make sense? Thank you so much. Please come and ask me questions.